If not, we're going to move on to hear from Lynn Peterson from Clackamas County Chair, and Ann Linger and Charlotte Lehan, Clackamas County Commissioners. Or maybe we're just hearing from Lynn. Thank you, Lynn, for taking the time this morning. I know you're on a schedule and you have another meeting, so please proceed.
Good morning, board members. Lynn Peterson, Chair of Clackamas County Commission. Behind me, I have almost the full board, minus one who is vacationing in Hawaii, who would really like to be there, and that's Commissioner Bernard. We have Commissioner Lehan, Commissioner Austin, and Commissioner Langer. All here, and like I said, if Commissioner Bernard could be here, he's been working on this project, the Milwaukie Light Rail line, for a very long time, and would regard this as a very important thing to be attending. First of all, I want to just thank you for the green line. The numbers are spectacular. If you take an assumption that about 10% of those riders are in the peak hour, maybe a little bit more, that is an entire lane of traffic on I-84 that you have just provided us in the peak hour, whether that's on I-205 or I-84, and that's an amazing amount of increased capacity. And obviously with the light rail line being there, we can increase that capacity even more in the future, which means that we can move more freight and more folks around Clackamas County, and in a very cost-effective way. So I very much appreciate the investment that the region has made in the green line. As well as Wes, it's awesome that the ridership is up in there, and as you know, Clackamas County has 5 transit districts. You are one of 5 transit districts in Clackamas County. We are a very pro-transit community between Smart and Canby, Molalla, Sandy. Who am I missing? What? Sandy. Yeah, thank you. So we wanted to come here today and just affirm our continued support for the Milwaukie Light Rail line and moving forward with the support to bring that financing package together and move into construction next summer, trying to get that bridge going. We also wanted to reaffirm our support on our end of making our financial commitment to you, as well as answer any questions that you may have. This board has been extremely supportive and knows that the regional investment in our community will increase capacity in the McLaughlin corridor. It will provide our communities with increased economic development potential as we come out of the recession. It will provide model sustainable development practices that are based on a lot of time and resources of TriMet, Metro, Clackamas County, as well as Milwaukee, with our citizens on coming up with those model sustainable development practices for the end of the line, which we very much appreciate. And I hear from those citizens all the time, and I believe most of them actually got to attend Railvolution on scholarships that we provided, even growing their awareness and education levels of what the potential of light rail can bring and increased ridership. As you know, the McLaughlin corridor, when I was at TriMet, we went to frequent service levels, the ridership went through the roof. So the potential is there to even increase capacity in that corridor even more as we look into the future. And I just want to let you know that this line is part of Clackamas County's investment strategy for the future for economic development. We do not have, besides some small planned improvements, large for highway, but small planned improvements in the Sunrise System area. We only have transit projects on the horizon and bike projects and sidewalk projects on the horizon. So we are very focused on connecting to transit in any way we can, whether it's through land development or through investments that we're going to be making. And we are looking at leveraging as much resources throughout the state at the federal level to make those connections and make that land ready for development at higher potential. So as we look into the future, you and all of our transit districts, but this investment in particular is extremely important to the future of Clackamas County and its citizens, and I very much appreciate it. And if you have any questions, I am here and happy and willing, and we've got 3 other commissioners if need be.
Thank you, Lynn, and thank you for Clackamas County's support of this project. Thank you.
Yeah, Lynn, thanks for your presentation. Since you mentioned the green line, you know there's an assertion out there that the extension of the line has resulted in increased crime rate, specifically at the Clackamas Town Center. Just want to know what's your take on that, and if that is true, what are some of the corrective actions that you might suggest?
Well, I guess I would start first with the fact that this is the first report you've had of before and after. So Green Line is brand new, and when you look at the numbers, that whether from the TriMet data or from the sheriff's data, many of the new reports are from reports of things happening that are related to transit, not paying your fare or unruly behavior that's coming from just having transit before and after. And I don't think that those statistics are showing anything different than any other part of the line. The second part is that about the same time that the Green Line opened, the mall security was cut by more than half. So there's a lot of increased activity at the mall, and the sheriff's numbers include the entire mall area, while your numbers are related to just what happens on the system. So when you look at the two, it's apples and oranges. However, does that mean that we shouldn't be doing anything? No. I mean, I think that we're all working to deal with the specific issues, but that doesn't mean that transit has brought crime to our community. I believe that there are a lot of other factors around which we are all working very hard in a partnership to deal with the change.
Thank you.
Good. And Lynn, thank you for the statement, because since I've been on the board, we worked hard in Gresham, from Gresham to downtown, and the crime rates have went down, and this board, along with Neil, with the help of the police department of Gresham and Portland, put together that task force on and off the trains. We've reduced the crime rates tremendously out there, and it isn't, I like your point, because I said it's the community that brings the crime. It isn't a train. That has no personality whatsoever. But it was accepted by the mayors out there too. They were blaming TriMet for the crime rates, and after I met with them several times, I said, look, you got to clean up the community too. They come from your communities and get on this train. So I liked your statement to that.
And I think we all look forward to, just continuing work on these issues and increasing safety and security at the platforms.
Absolutely.
And whatever we can do to help, we have been there all along the way. And I know that the sheriff has made the statement several times that it's not about light rail, it's about the safety of the community. So we'll just continue to work on that.
Excellent. Thank you. Steve?
Thank you. Lynn, if you could you comment a little bit about infrastructure funding and help the board understand from both a municipal and a county perspective how we as partners are affected, benefited in some cases, or limited by local municipalities and counties' abilities to invest in infrastructure. The tools you have, specifically urban renewal is a tool you can use, but it has some limitations and some critics. Looking forward, because whatever we do, whether it's in some forms of bus stop improvements or light rail investments, extensions, it's going to be through partnerships. Can you help us understand some of the dilemmas you have, your county has, and some of the cities, as it relates to tools from which you can invest?
Sure. I think the question is really important, because every community that you go, that TriMet builds and runs and operates, maintains a line in at this point, is a co-owner of the project. So we are all owners of these projects at this point, and I believe TriMet does a very good job trying to help craft solutions to community interests, because we are all co-owners. And the local jurisdictions at this point, you are right, we are preempted or don't have enabling legislation, or like Clackamas County don't have a home rule charter, so we don't have the taxation authority that maybe Multnomah County would have. But in general, as you know, the gas tax is constitutionally dedicated to roads and roads only, and the amount of money coming into cities and counties is being used for maintenance of the roads and maintenance only, to the point where Clackamas County ourselves, we've only had 4 large projects this summer, and that came from stimulus money from the feds, not from the state gas tax. Our state gas tax is going to fill potholes, deal with slides, do small repaving projects on roads that if we don't do it, we're going to lose the entire road. So we're down to the absolute necessity with very little asset management going on. So on the gas tax and transportation funding directly, we are very, very limited. Our other tools, general fund, could definitely be used, but we're so limited in what we can do with the general fund and the general fund growth as other costs increase faster than the general fund can grow, which is property tax. So that's usually not something that a jurisdiction will put on the table, but an urban renewal district is, or a property tax measure would be. Urban renewal, of course, being not an increase in taxes, but freezing the base value and any increment upon that going back into that district. With the changes in urban renewal just this last session, we have a lot more partners that we will be working with to create urban renewal in the future, making sure that we don't have urban renewal extend too long into the future so that the benefit comes back faster to the community, whether that's a school district or a fire district or any other special district out there. And also to make sure that any capital investments we make spread benefit amongst all of those players as well. So I think that the session has allowed us to use urban renewal, continue to use urban renewal for these sorts of projects. I think the stakeholder outreach has necessarily need to grow as resources get scarcer.
Thank you.
Thanks. I'm going to let the chairwoman go because she asked to be dismissed by 9:30, and we're going to honor that request.
We have a business meeting, and I appreciate it.
We really do appreciate your presence here and your support for Portland-Milwaukie in particular, but for the Green Line and for all transit projects that I know that your county has embraced, undertaken, supported.
Thank you. We look forward to Lake Oswego streetcar in the future. Had to get that in.
Just got that in? All right, you're dismissed.
Well, and I want to thank my entire board for being here and making sure that this was an important.
Thanks, Charlotte.
All right,
Okay,
thank you so much.
Thank you.